It says, I'm rooting for everybody black. If it makes you uncomfortable, good. If you're getting mad or something, I encourage you to take radical responsibility for our way we have created this mess. And by we, I mean white people like me. It's just going to make us uncomfortable until we fix it.
Kirsten's Agenda is the name of my show. It's a way to make art and learn stuff and grow. There will be lots of segments and maybe some guests. 10 minutes of deep breath, that is my quest. Opening up is a really good place to start. Kirsten's Agenda.
We can't assume that the thoughts in our head are actually sane and tethered to what we want them to be tethered to. We get to question what we were taught to be tethered to. I think we grow up, our parents, our community tether us to things, right? Facts, beliefs about who we are, about the way the world works, blah, 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 blah. And then we get older, you start deciding what you're going to be tethered to. I'm tethered to kindness. I'm tethered to creativity. Things that aren't part of that, I'm not tethered to. If we're using it for Los Angeles government, I want to be tethered to community care, kindness, fairness, and not like a collective. I don't even know if it's fairness. I need to think about it. But I know I want to be tethered to kindness and creativity. Those are things that I will reject things that aren't those things. We have a part 2 of Nithya Raman. Today we are after the election. The election was harrowing, to say the least. Who thought the election was harrowing? Raise your hand. Yes, agreed. It was a lot. And you have worked in the city council, so you kind of know already how this all goes.
I know some of how it goes, and I know what are the blocks that have prevented me from being able to change the things I want to change.
If I'm hearing this correctly, you were like, okay, wait, I want to change these things, and there's some things that I can change better if I was mayor.
Absolutely. So
Okay.
here's a big thing. I think we need to build more housing in LA.
I agree with you. But I heard somebody like, but what about parking? Aside from like get over your tantrum that we just have to, but like, is there a way to soothe those people that are like, I don't know what to do because I'm scared about parking and I'm scared about it. Like,
change is hard. Change in our neighborhoods is hard, right? But the thing is that when we don't build the housing that we need, change happens in ways that we don't like. And it happens anyway. So for example, families are leaving LA. We've had the largest drop of families of children under 5 leaving Los Angeles because families can't afford to live here. I don't think that's a good outcome for Los Angeles, and that's happening because we didn't build enough housing. That's change. And we have a massive homelessness crisis that's driven by our lack of housing. That's change. That's change that people don't like. And so to me, it's like we can change it in ways that we can manage that change, make it as good as possible for everyone and address our housing crisis, or we can just let it be and have other problems that come about that are really bad for us. And that's,
right.
And that are already here. We're already seeing the impacts of those issues
Right.
on our streets. We're seeing people leaving. We're seeing our homelessness crisis play out on our streets. Like, this is real. This is happening.
What about, I know a lot of people who work in unions and crews and stuff like that. What about Los Angeles and show business? And what is your plan to help support that?
Oh, it's been really a challenging time for Hollywood here in Los Angeles. And it's something that I feel very personally. My husband's in the industry. A lot of our friends, a lot of my constituents are in the industry. People are struggling right now. We've seen tens of thousands of jobs leave LA. And I've been really frustrated to see that our mayor has not been more active in trying to fight for the industry and to make sure that it stays here. So to me, one of the biggest differences in LA that can make hopefully Hollywood stay or come back is really securing the kind of tax credit that we need. And that is a state decision, but the mayor needs to be the loudest most fervent advocate for exactly the kind of tax credit that we need.
Right.
It needs to be rallying. I would rally every elected representative in the region to make sure that we're making the case for an uncapped tax credit that is guaranteed into the future so that productions can count on getting it. And that means they can continue to invest in Los Angeles. That to me will be the biggest decision maker, or the kind of the door that will open for so many more. You're seeing with the expansion of the tax credit that we had last year, already some more productions have come back, but a tax credit that has no cap and that's guaranteed into the future, that accounts for above the line costs, that's designed around what the industry needs, that talks about post-production. Like, the design of this tax credit is going to be really important. And if I'm mayor, I'm going to advocate for the most expansive, best designed version of that tax credit possible. And I will never stop talking about it.
Nithya Raman, which is an option, a viable option. Karen Bass is a viable option. It's called an election. Now everyone's going to know that I have a thing. These are other things that are happening that I know about in civics in LA that I want to share with you. So if you're in LA, listen, these couple of things. You might know because you're like,
Kirsten, I'm following the same things as you and I'm trying to get info.
but I'm sharing here. Here we go. Number one, if you're watching this on Friday, send an email to your city council member saying you want the city controller to get at least 0.42% of the budget given. He needs 0.42% of the whole city budget for him. And he wants that put into the charter. Why? Because that way the controller will have the ability to hold the city hall fiscally responsible because they have enough money to pay for, what they need to do. Number two, other thing, I heard that Hugo Soto Martinez, who is my city council person, thank you very much, he had a press conference about something called residential voting, which would mean that for local elections, he wants to introduce a thing that would get looked at by the city council and then we would vote on as a city. He wants to introduce this where if you are a DACA member, like a dreamer, like you were born here, but your parents aren't citizens, American citizens, so you don't have, citizenship yet, or if you're a green card holder, that you would be able to vote in local elections. So it would mean that they could vote in local elections, which is taxation with representation, considering that the people in Los Angeles that are non-citizens, that are, like I said, like DACA people or green card holders, they make up, they put in $51 billion in taxes. So I think they should have a say in local government. I'm not freaked out by that. Is my internal white person a little bit freaked out by it? Yes. I think that people who are against this stuff, sometimes they're like, but I feel scared about it. Yeah, it's okay. That's an ish us. Yeah, that's an us problem. That you feel scared about it, about giving something that is fair to someone. That's something that I need to explore within myself. I'm not saying a big part of me thinks that, but there's like a little like, ah. And when like I posted it on Instagram, some people were like,
oh no, that's
they freak out, And when I read that stuff, I do inside my body. I go like, oh no, or oh, they have a point. And I appreciate that part about me that stays endlessly curious. But then I remember that I am tethered to kindness and fairness. What I'm hoping happens in that in this election season now is you have two people. I hope someone talks to them about this. You have two people saying, this is the vision I want. This is what I want. This is what we can do. And I hope that in this upcoming election season and beyond, that what we're doing is we're like, okay, who's going to get picked by the people? Not because someone is saying, not because of that, but because it's like, this is what I want to do. This is what I want to do. And we go, okay, we're going to choose this one or this one. And then we move forward. And then when we move forward, right, then that person that gets elected, I hope people listen to this that have some, because I think this is the way it works. And that person, they go, okay, what are the good ideas that you had and you had and you had? I hope that someone is calling Ray for LA and being like, get in here. Like, we want to learn from you so that we can collectively create a Los Angeles that is not like this, like, because right now it just feels like they are trash, and it's just, and it's none of it's true. You can't find the truth because it's so on the black and white, and it's just not. I can go off on a long tangent right now about how when I went to Pentecostal camp, I was told that we're not in the gray. It has to be black and white. And it's, sorry, Kirsten, that's just the way it is. And man, that really, I know that's not true in my heart. I know that it's not just gray. It's like every color that we've never even imagined, because the universe is big, and Los Angeles is big. And I hope you come back next week.